Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here, and I'm going to show you a online historical battle that I played against this guy named SamFam96. It's the Battle of Lake Trasimene. I'll be commanding the Carthaginian force of Hannibal, and SamFam will be commanding the Roman army here. So, with these historical battles, you don't get to deploy. So what I did was, I took my general off the hill, and then I'm going to just go ahead and reassemble my troops so that they're easier to organize. Now, a lot of people would recommend just charging into the Romans, hitting them from all sides, don't let them organize. But I figure, hey, I've got some pretty good terrain here. I've got some pretty good troops myself. I feel like I can take these Romans out in an open pitch battle. So I'm just gonna reorganize my troops. And my opponent, SamFam, was pretty passive here at this moment. He kind of just sat back and let me reorganize my troops. Now, with these historical battles, you don't get to pick your troops. They're already pre-picked. They're already a preset here. So I don't pick my troops, he doesn't pick his troops. Now, this guy did host a battle, though, and he picked the Roman side. And I specifically joined this guy's game because I saw this guy acting kind of like a troll, and I wasn't too happy with the way he was acting. So I wanted to join this guy's game and just see if he was a good player and see if he would behave himself. Anyways, this is the Battle of Lake Trasimene. A very epic historical battle. And this was a very large ambush laid by Hannibal against these Roman troops, slaughtering these Romans like they were nothing. And at the conclusion of this battle in history, the Romans adapted the famous Fabian Tactics, basically a scorched earth policy where they would rather ravage their land than give the Carthaginians food to live off on. So a lot of Romans, you know, they were very much insulted by these by this new strategy under Fabius. So they eventually elected some new dictators, which also ended pretty badly for the Romans. But let's focus on the battle at hand here. I'm recollecting my troops, putting my Pony infantry on the left flank, putting my skirmishers in the front lines, and then I'm going to put my Iberian infantry on the right flank. What I want to do, I basically want to attack his Principes here, tie them down, and then use my Pony infantry to slaughter his Triarii. Because if I take out that Triarii, then my abundance of cav won't have too much trouble taking on the rest of this Roman military here. In terms of cav, there's 2 units of cav here? Something like that. But Rome does have all this Triarii, which is it's meant to offset the imbalance in cav in this fight. I think this is all that's here. I don't think he has any hidden units here. I don't think. But anyways, around this point in the battle, my opponent said, "Hey," or "Hey, man," or something like that, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he never responded to me. So I wasn't sure what was going on. I'm just gonna play my battle here. Play as the legendary Hannibal Barca. I still think they should make a movie about this guy. I remember Vin Diesel was trying to get his movie off the ground. Hopefully it takes flight, but I would like to see a movie based on this guy. Now, there was a British docudrama based on Hannibal, which starred Alexander Siddig from Deep Space Nine. He played the ship's doctor, and he was also in Kingdom of Heaven as well. Very good actor. That was a good series, but I would like to see a big budget movie based on the life of Hannibal. Maybe break it up into 2 or 3 movies, although I kind of doubt that would happen. So let's just go for one movie, one epic movie. So I'm just putting all my cav in the rear here, and here's my Hannibal unit. Unfortunately, there's really no Hannibal skin. I think in the single-player version of this battle, there might be a cooler-looking skin. I forgot. So anyways, I am throwing sticks at his Triarii, whereas his Velites are throwing their sticks at my skirmishers. I wanted to weaken his Triarii, to be honest. I didn't do too much damage, but I did some damage. I'd rather target his Triarii than his skirmishers, because my skirmishers... because I can easily just run his skirmishers over and knock him out in a few seconds, so I'm not really concerned about them. Now, as you can see, I have developed my line so that I can try to overlap his. I was trying to anyways. So I'm going to rush forward, try to take on his Triarii with my Pewani infantry. These guys fight like a phalanx, so I was very confident that they could take out his Triarii, although these Triarii have tons of upgrades on them. My Pewani have pretty good upgrades too. Anyways, I'm going to charge forward with my Iberian infantry into his Principes. You can see I've moved Hannibal into the forest over there, and I'm going to move this Iberian infantry unit around so I can try to attack his guys. But he had this Principe unit waiting for me, so I just ran into them instead of charging into the back of these Principes. He's got his cav rushing into my Iberians, so they're not going to last too long. So I decide to screw my right flank, or decide to heck with it, and settle my cav down the left. But at the same time, I'm using my Hannibal unit here to cause some disruption, and just draws attention away from any particular direction. But with the bulk of my cav on this side, he has to be concerned about that. And with Hannibal Barca charging into his Velites right here, that's going to cause some concern too. Get a good charge, knock out these Velites again in seconds. But I did lose my complete left flank right here, but they were just skirmishers, I don't care about them. But I'm gonna feign a charge here. Now some of my viewers were saying they prefer the replay commentary, but I feel like you don't really get that much tactical insight when you do these replay commentaries, but I can see the advantage of replay commentaries. That is, I can zoom in like this a lot. So I'm basically just rushing in with my cav, making surgical strikes where I can, keeping my cav in a big swarm. Here's Hannibal right there fighting in the thick of battle. Gonna take out these Hastati, so I've saved this wing here, but he's won this wing. So it's still up in the air as to what's going to happen. He still has a lot of Principes, a lot of infantry. He's got some Triarii, a lot of Hastati. And if I don't have a holding force to hold my to hold his infantry down, then my cav isn't going to be too effective. So I definitely need to have some cav or some infantry. So I'm using my Libyan spears to tie his troops down. Now this is just a temporary measure, because on their own they're not going to do too well against Triarii, Principes, Hastati, so I need to rescue my guys over here when I can. But I'm going to continue to launch charges into his troops wherever I can. And what I want to do is pull his general into a fight where I can surround him and cause some separation between him and his infantry. But he's going to see what I'm doing, and he's going to pull his general back. He does not want to do that. And he's also going to smack into my skirmishers right here. So I'm going to do what I can to hit his swordsmen from behind, because they can't fight cav as well as a Triarii I can. So here's an overhead of the situation here. So I'm just going to continue to launch charges into his unsupported swords and avoid any Triarii. He still has a few units of Triarii left. Now at this point I still have a lot of cav. He still has some pretty good infantry though. Luckily I've got these Libyan spearmen still holding their ground. Even though they're losing, they managed to kill the Roman commander there. So I was happy with that. And I don't know if that led to the routing of these Roman units. Maybe it did, I don't know, but I know when you lose your commander, that does cause some morale loss. Not as drastic as losing a commander in command of a Germanic or a barbarian army, but it can still cause morale loss. It still causes morale loss, but the effects are probably less on a more civilized faction like Rome. But I'm going to continue to eat away at his infantry. Now I do have to fight his Triarii now, because that's all that's left. And then I'm going to smack into the backs of these Triarii. There's a few Principes left too. His Velites broke here. Can't be good for morale. So I'm gonna just do a concentrated dedicated fight here against these guys. I'm gonna keep my cab in this fight here, since my my Libyan spears are holding them down right now. Wait, do I come back and charge these guys? I might. I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot he had this pretty big unit of Principes who came in. I was worried about that, but they were tired, so at least they were tired. You get some more Roman units breaking over there. There goes some of my round units, or my round shields. They were exhausted. They couldn't take any more of this combat. Very desperate fight. But you can see, without the Triarii, he really can't hold back my my cav. Even though my cav's depleted, this is still enough to win the fight. So I win the fight. So it was a close victory. Now my opponent was kind of not so friendly. I said GG to him, and then he said GG too, but then he also said GG, nice spam. I'm like, really? Nice spam? It's a preset battle. I don't pick my army. It's already preset. Anyways, I see people fight this battle, and their strategy was basically just to run up this hill. I forgot which hill it was. Basically run up the hill and just fight up here, and I think that's kind of lame. So what I did was I charged right down there and fought an open pitch battle against the Romans here under SamFam 96. But yeah, after the battle, he said he responded GG, nice spam. Like, yeah, dude. Well, the Romans had spam infantry. My guys had spam cav. I think it's a pretty tough fight for both factions, to be honest. I would say Hannibal's Carthaginians might have. They probably do have the edge with all that cav, but Rome definitely has the means to beat them. I've won this battle many times as Rome. You got to use your Triarii to fight that the Carthaginian cav. In this case, he left his Triarii on the front lines to take in my Poeni. That was a waste of his Triarii because they were meant to be fighting my cav. Anyways, it was a good fight though. Battle of Lake Trasimene. And you guys can look up this battle yourselves. I've talked about this battle many times too when I fought this historical battle. I fought this historical battle many times on the hardest level against computer and many times against humans in multiplayer. And I talk about the history behind it in those fights. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this battle. See you guys later.